Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Togozani Mapena. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching this and you've not subscribed, please go ahead and click on the subscribe button. I would love to help you guys be a part of my family. Engage with me, comment and like on my videos, and yeah, let's get the ball rolling. Okay, so I've struggled now with this video and conceptualizing it for literally over a year. I didn't know if I'd be able to strike the balance between not making it too personal and not turning it into a lecture that, like, I literally have filmed this video about 4 times already, and every time I rewatch it to edit, you know, prepare it for publishing, I always just felt like there was something that was missing. And I found that I was trying too hard to be, like, I was trying too hard to make sure that I strike that balance, that it really just showed. And now I'm just like, it's something that I want to share, something that I wanted to teach you guys, but I didn't want you guys to be bored, because I know that with some things you can just go over the internet on Google it, and you'll find it. But it's something that's in my heart, and as you have known, I've been sharing some videos regarding my younger sister's condition, and maybe some of the complications or some of the procedures that we do as a family to help make her life easier. So today's video was literally supposed to follow the first video I filmed, which was me explaining what cerebral palsy is. If you've not watched that video, I'm going to link it somewhere between the 2 corners so you can go watch the video and get the context behind the video, behind this particular video. So yesterday I was just chilling and I was jotting down, you know, video ideas, and out of the blue I just started typing what was in my heart and things that I felt like I wanted to share with you guys. And last night I felt like I struck the balance, but when I read it this morning it felt some type of way. So I may just go over to my phone to read a bit so I don't get off topic, but I want to keep this video very short. What we're going to talk about today is, okay, everybody knows that my young sister has cerebral palsy, and hers is a very severe case of cerebral palsy. Almost every complication that we've read on, that our doctors have warned us about, that we have literally seen by observation of other families and you know, our environments, she has literally about 90% of all the complications that children or people with cerebral palsy are going to experience. So it's a very tricky and tough journey, and there are a lot of things that we need to do as a family to make sure that we give her a life that is as comfortable and as, you know, and as relaxed and as happy and as warm and as joyful as we possibly can. And we need, like, medical interventions. We need things that we can do at home to make her feel like she's not missing out on the world outside. So one of the complications that I'm going to talk about today is her scoliosis. She has scoliosis, which is a type of scoliosis. I may just type out so you guys can see, or maybe you can Google it, but I don't want to turn this into a lecture. So I'm going to be talking about one of my little sister's condition complications. If you do not know as yet, my little sister has cerebral palsy. She was diagnosed when she was 4 months old. She's now currently 20 years old. If you've not watched this video where I talk about it, I'll link it somewhere here. But today I'm going to talk about her scoliosis. So she suffers from, like, a severe case of scoliosis, and it's getting harder and harder every day, because day and night she is fighting a battle of breathing. It's either with her chest feeling compressed or with her nasal being swollen. So we as a family have had to come through and help with the things that we can help with, propping her up, with giving her medication, her nasal sprays, and all of that. So now the biggest complication, or the biggest threat that we're facing now as a family, is that her spine is sitting at a 61-degree angle, which makes it this way. It's literally almost at 90 degrees for it to sit this way, and that would cause more problems, which would be like lethal, if I may put it that way. Right now, her internal organs, her internal vital organs are squashed, and it's hard because she's growing and they're growing. They're not growing at a rate they're supposed to grow, but they are growing. Meaning that the more they grow and the more compressed they are by her bent spine and her rib cage, literally caging them in, it makes it hard for her to breathe, it makes it hard for her to digest food, it makes it hard for her to just live a normal life, as normal a life as she possibly can live. It's hard and it poses a lot of problems, and she can't even get surgery because of her condition. It would be very difficult for her to recover. So we're facing that, and at this point it's only just trying to make sure that she's as comfortable as she possibly can, that we manage her pain, and literally just watch her go through that. That's what it means, to watch her go through all of that she's going through, but also trying to go outside to get the help that we need. That is why, like, I feel like I'm not campaigning for the wheelchair, that we need it. We really need it. We really need it. Because for her it would be a major change, the same change that other people would experience when they have like some skeletal deformity and they get surgery and it helps. She can't get surgery. She would actually die from the complications of the surgery more than, like, quicker than she would with this condition, and it's just like a frightening thing. And yeah, we are struggling. It's been now for a couple of years. We're struggling with breathing, and if it's not in the chest, then it's like around her nasal area, and sometimes it swells up, sometimes the chest is too tight. So if you've not seen the Botox video, the Botox she does, it helps with loosening the muscles, so loosening muscles around her limbs, and sometimes that helps like with the constriction of the spine, which makes it easier for her to breathe. But now we are faced with that, the struggle with breathing, and I cannot tell you how scary that is for me and for us as a family. I sleep with her, so we've always slept together as the younger siblings. Now growing, it's just very hard for us to separate, and every single night I go to bed, it's like there's a fear that I'm going to wake up in the morning and she would have suffocated somehow during the night, she would have struggled, or that I would have failed to hear her. So now it's in my head and I don't really sleep, because I need to, like, my brain over the years has sort of trained itself to remain awake even when I'm asleep, so I know what's going on with her and I can help when she needs me. So now we are faced with one or the other breathing struggle every night, and we have to do things to help her with that. So it's been very hard. It's hard with the seating. That's why we needed the seating system, and the older one she has outgrown that. So now we're struggling with her medical aid to get her a new one so it can help. It's not going to be a miracle worker. It's not going to now stop the curvature of the spine. It's still going to happen, but it's going to be at a much slower rate than it would be right now, and she would be able to breathe, should be able to just, I feel like we don't, sometimes being able to sit and eat comes very naturally. It's very easy, so it's not a struggle. You don't even think about it because that's how it should be. But now when you're faced with something like that, it's like, shit, we take some things for granted. Like being able to wake up in the morning and say good morning, being able to tell my mom, my sister, or anyone, I have a headache and it's bad and it's on this side. She can't tell us that. So now she's struggling with that pain, and it's like so hard as a family that we're literally at a point where we talk about the things that she goes through, we talk about how she's feeling, and it stresses all of us. Like you can literally see it in all our faces, but sometimes it's very hard for us to just talk about it because we want to make sure that I'm strong for her and my parents and my sister. And my sister wants to be strong for me and my parents, and my mom wants to be strong for her children, her husband. My dad wants to be strong for his wife and his children. It's like, we are stuck in this phase that we can never get out of. I don't think there's no amount of therapy that could help us out of this. Not because we are in denial. We could go to therapy, but it's a reality we're facing, and there's no running from it. You know, it's like sometimes we feel like any day now she could go, and then we're begging her to fight, and we also fighting to help her to make things easier for her, because we're not ready for that. We don't want that. I don't want her to go. Like, it's it's a battle. It's a battle. It's a battle between, you know, praying and asking God to take over, to take charge, to heal her, but then you also confronted again with the reality. What does healing mean in this situation? What does it mean? It means her being able to eat, her being able to breathe, her being able to sit up with the things that we help her, or with the things that we use to help prop her up, because now it's gone to a point where she can't even like sit up. She could never hit a 90-degree, but maybe she could hit like an 80, like a 70. Now it's getting to a point where she can't even hit the 70. Like, it's painful for her to sit upright. So we're getting to a point where she needs to lie down a lot, or if she's gonna sit on top of me, I know not to bend her over and to just slide down the chair a bit. It is hard, and the hardest part is not being able to take care of her. The hardest part is like what her body can allow, like her physical body, what she can endure, what is the least pain that she can endure. And as a family, seeing her go through that pain, as a family, seeing her try to hide that pain, I feel like those are some of the hardest things that, you know, we're dealing with. And sometimes it gets very hard to talk to people outside the family, not because you feel like they're not going to understand, or you feel like they're going to judge you. It's not. It's just sometimes it feels like it's people misconstrue the conversations you have with them about situations like these. And oftentimes people may think that you are looking for pity, and it's not pity. Sometimes it's just like, it's hard. I could go a week without sleeping because she's not sleeping, and in the morning I need to be up and function so I can help her bath, eat, and get on with our normal daily routine. But after 2-3 days of you going through that, not sleeping properly, and you just want to tell someone. You want to tell a boyfriend if you have a boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend, and sometimes I feel like my friends, you know, are up at it with it. Sometimes they want to understand, but sometimes I feel like they don't get it how I need them to get it. And then I bring the problem back to myself, that maybe I don't know how to articulate it. It's hard trying to speak out and wanting people to understand your position and where you come from without feeling like they think you're looking for pity. So I decided to sit down and just talk about this like this and put it on the internet, and you guys will be my friends. And sometimes you just don't want to burden people. I know my friends are going to watch this and they're going to be on my neck about burdening, and it's not really a burden. It's not me saying they don't understand me or they don't support me. It's just like sometimes you want to tell someone else about your issue, and it's a new issue to them. It's not something that they've heard of 10 times before, because I've kept the same friends for years now, and they've heard it all, and each time it gets more severe. And it's like, I feel like you're not getting the severity. And then when they get it, it's like, okay, you get it, but I feel like you're not getting it how we want you to get it. So it's definitely emotional turmoil that happens. And sometimes, no matter how much people want to understand, no matter how much people want to help you, it's like, what can they do? And that's the same way we are feeling with her. It's like, what can we do? We literally do everything we can, and then it feels like it's not enough, and we want to do more, and sometimes it's not helping. And our doctors are telling us sometimes, you know, it gets to a point where it's a terminal thing. So with each stage, it's like deteriorates. It goes down and goes down and goes down, and no matter how much you do, it may not be enough. But we as a family can never get that. Like, it's like, oh yeah, there's something else I can do. Oh yeah, there's something else I want to do. Oh yeah, I want to try this and try that and try this and try that, until there's literally nothing I can do. Then find something else to do when there's nothing else to do, because you feel like you are failing her. you feel like you're failing her, God put her in our hands. She's not my mom or my dad's problem. She's not a problem at all. She's our child. I'm her sister, but she's my responsibility as well. She's my older sister's responsibility as well. And we want to do everything in our power to help her. But sometimes, because we are mortal, we can't help. But it certainly does feel like, you know, you are failing her. And I know that's not true, but it's a thought that you can't help but have. And I just wanted to share this. If there are people here watching my channel and they're going through similar stuff, situations are different. People could be with siblings who are addicted to drugs or alcohol, or terminal illnesses like cancer or other things. It's like, it is hard to watch your loved one go through something and then you try everything in your power to help them, but sometimes it's not enough, and it's like you are failing them and you're failing God and you're disappointing everyone, and you want to try and you want to try and you want to try. And you again as well, you need to be at a point where you can function in the world. If you've got a job, you're working. If you've got YouTube, you need to come here on YouTube and smile as if nothing is going on. And you want to tell the whole, you want to scream it out of your chest and tell the whole world, but you also don't want people to think you're trying to use your situation to sell an idea, to sell yourself. And it's like, there's no perfect balance. It's just being human and allowing yourself to be human, and cry if you need to, cry if you have to. I mean, a couple of days ago, I bawled. I was in the shower and I couldn't handle it. Like, we had a situation and I was just crying because I felt like we were failing her. And that's the hardest thing. And the hardest thing is that she can't even tell us where she's feeling the pain. She can't tell me if the pain is in her hip that day, or she's got a headache, or she's really struggling to breathe. She feels like something's on her chest. Like, we literally have to think of all the possibilities and try to assess the symptoms and the situation so we can help her. So it's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. A lot of people are going through a lot of different things, and this is my story. And I'm not sure if I'm going to share more of her journey on the tube, but I really wanted to sit down and talk about this. Actually, I wanted to tell you guys the complications, but this just took a whole turn. So maybe I might film like a 2-minute or 5-minute video where I really just talk about the scoliosis as a condition on her and not the effect of it on us as a family. So yeah, we'll see. You may or may not see this video, and if you do, please be kind in the comment section and take into the account that people go through different things in life, and we do not all like deal with it the same way. I'm not looking for your pity. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just trying to tell whoever it is that watches this and resonates with it that you're not alone. There are people who are going through different situations but similar symptoms or similar, you know, effects, and I hope that you find it in your heart to have peace and to make peace about the situation, and to just, I don't know, you're not alone. You are not alone. Take care of yourselves. Please subscribe if you haven't. But yeah, take care of yourselves, you guys, and take care of your families and your loved ones, and keep well. Until next time.